Alright, so in this video I will show you how you can install Ubuntu on your computer. So you will need a USB pen drive with 4 or more gigabytes of storage. Before we start, everything on your pen drive will get erased, so be sure to back up your data. I also recommend backing up your entire machine because if the installation fails by chance, you will not lose your data. Now, click on this download button and don't worry if this version number changes. Make sure that it has the LTS word after it because LTS means long time support, and you will basically get security updates for the next 5 years. So if this does not have LTS after it, then just scroll down and find a version that does. Now click on this green download button and wait a bit for your download to start. After it has started, if you're using Firefox, then click on Save File and then choose a directory. This option may or may not appear for you. But now, once this has downloaded, I'm going to cancel it since I already downloaded it. We have to install it to our pen drive. But now once that is completed, you have to go to this website for Etcher. So Etcher allows us to install this Ubuntu onto our flash drive or our pen drive. So also you will need a pen drive which is more than 4 gigabytes or more. So I have a SanDisk Cruiser Blade which is 4 gigabytes. So you can use this pen drive. So now download Etcher. So download for your operating system. For me, it's Mac, so I can click here. If you have another operating system, then just click on this down arrow and then choose your correct operating system. I have already downloaded and installed it. So now once this installs, open Etcher. So I go over here and I'll open Etcher by saying Etcher just like that. And make sure every other USB pen drive or any other storage device like external hard disks or CD drives are all plugged off or all removed from your system, because you might install this to another pen drive or another CD drive that you do not want to install it to. And also everything on your pen drive will be erased, so make sure you do not have any important files on your pen drive. Now click on select image and then search and find your Ubuntu image. For me it is over here, so Ubuntu 20.04 desktop, and then click on open. Insert your USB drive into your machine. So I will insert it right now. Click on select target and you can see I have my SanDisk Cruiser Blade media selected over here. So now just click on this, make sure there's a check mark, and then click on continue and then click on flash. So this might again take some more time, and if you're on Mac OS you have to enter your password. Now once the flash has completed, you might get a pop-up if you're on Mac OS saying that this disk was not readable by your computer. Click on ignore and then close Etcher. Now remove this pen drive from your system and shut down the computer in which you will be installing Ubuntu on. I'll be installing it on my Dell laptop, so I will see you guys over there. Now plug in your pen drive to your machine and you can turn it on. And if you notice at the bottom of the screen when this turns on, right about there, you should see it asks us to press F12 for boot options. So I will keep pressing F12 right there. This will be different for every laptop brand. So I will leave a link in the description in case your laptop brand is not Dell. Now you should see this screen, which will be different for every laptop brand. And now you have to select USB storage device and then press enter. So once you press enter, you should see a purple screen, which means that Ubuntu has installed successfully, and it will now we can wait for it to boot into Ubuntu. And now it should be checking your file system. So once this is completed, it will boot into the Ubuntu machine. So I will be right back once this is done. And now you should see the screen. So this is the Ubuntu install menu. So you can either try Ubuntu from right here on your pen drive. So you can actually boot into Ubuntu from your pen drive itself, which is actually really nice about Linux operating systems. You do not have to install them to use them. You can just directly use them. But when you shut down your machine, there will be no changes saved. Or if you are brave enough, you can just directly install it from here. What I will do is I will try Ubuntu. So I will click on this button and it should launch us into the Ubuntu environment. And there you go, we are inside Ubuntu. from our pen drive. We have not installed it yet. This is actually running from that very pen drive. So this is actually one of the greatest things about Linux operating systems, not just Ubuntu, but even any other Linux operating system. Now we're in Ubuntu, so you can try out everything. You can check out the start menu. You can check out what all programs will be installed. You can open calculator, maybe do some complicated maths here. Then maybe close that and then open, I don't know, Minesweeper. Uh, I don't know, do something, get destroyed. Close that and then start open up a word processor like LibreOffice Writer over here. I think. Let me scroll that. And then you can just start using that. But remember, whatever changes you make to this operating system, for example, if I change this wallpaper from this image to maybe a grayscale version of this. So if I change that image, then when I reboot this into this USB drive, this image will not be saved. It will just come back to the default installation. So be very careful. And that's why we can now install Ubuntu from over here. You can just double click on this desktop icon, or you can choose here, and we get this lovely sound played. Uh, and you can see we have English over here. You can choose any other language, maybe Spanish or French. So I'm going to choose English and click on continue. And now it is time for your keyboard layout. This is actually very important because otherwise you'll be entering random stuff in your keyboard. So make sure you have actually we are checking your keyboard layout, and because sometimes stuff on the English US keyboard is different from the English UK. So just try pressing every single key on your keyboard, and yeah. You can also press this detect keyboard layout and it'll just ask you to press one of those keys. So I'll press V and I'll press W and I'll press Z. And no, that is not present. No, 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 no. None of these, I think, are present on the English US keyboard, and you can see it automatically detects it. And since we are in India, I think this is the keyboard that most of us will use. Now click on continue, and once you are sure of your keyboard layout, here it will ask you what type of installation you want. So you can choose a normal installation, which will install the web browser, which is Mozilla Firefox, utilities such as I don't know, Thunderbird, Mail, or maybe there's more stuff here, something like a calendar or a document scanner maybe. And then it'll install Office software like which is LibreOffice. It's a free alternative to Microsoft Office, and it's actually better than that according to me. And then you can also install games like Minesweeper that we just played, and media players like Rhythmbox. If you choose minimal installation, then it'll just install the web browser and it'll install some basic utilities like a calculator or a text editor. Um, Now, minimal installation will happen quicker, but for example, if you wanted LibreOffice, then you will have to manually search for that and download it. So you can choose normal installation if you're new to this and if you do not want to search for applications and download them, or you can choose minimal installation. So I'll choose normal installation, and then other options, download updates. Again, this will save time after installation. You wouldn't have to do this to have a quicker installation. Now install third-party software. If for example you have a graphics card like Nvidia, then you have to tick this. So now click on continue, and I already have I believe Windows 10 installed on this machine. So you can do one thing. You can either install Ubuntu with Windows 10, or just delete your entire Windows 10 hard disk and install Ubuntu. So now if you want to delete your entire Windows 10 hard disk, which it means that every single file, all applications, everything will be deleted. So make sure that you have copied all of your files. For example, all of your documents, all of your downloads, all of your pictures, photos, medias, everything. So just upload it to OneDrive or Google Drive, or maybe have it packed up to another USB pen drive. Everything will be deleted, so make sure you have your data backed up. If you want to install it alongside Windows 10, then you have to have a specific type of bootloader. I believe it's Legacy, and you can choose an option which says install alongside Windows 10. So I will leave a link to a video by Ksk Royal that shows you how you can install Windows 10 and Ubuntu together. So now once you have made up your mind, click on erase disk and install Ubuntu. Click install now, and it should, I believe, make some partitions. So just click on continue, and now it will begin erasing all of your hard drive. So now it will ask where I am. So it will attempt to pick the location from your Wi-Fi. So since I'm using an Ethernet cable, I'm already connected to Wi-Fi, but you will also find an option to connect to Wi-Fi at the beginning. Now I am in India, so Kolkata is the time zone for me. But let's say the system did not detect the correct time zone, so you can just choose one. Maybe you live in Australia, then you can choose one of these time zones over here. Maybe you live in let's say China, then you can choose over here. Maybe you live in the USA, so you can choose one of those over here. So I live in India, so I'm going to choose Kolkata and then click on continue. Now once this is done, it will ask you to create a user account. So let's just wait for that to happen. And now it will ask me, who are you? So first enter your name. So I will enter Anufan5, computer name, and enter the same thing for this. All these I will enter the same. And then for a password, pick a very strong password. So I will go with the PASSWORD, which is the strongest password ever. Now, you can either log in automatically, so you don't have to enter your password, or you can just require my password to log in, which is more secure, so I'll choose that. Now click on continue, and now it should be installing Ubuntu for you. So you can actually click on this button to show you the console right here. So it'll show you all of the terminal output, and you can also check out all of the features of Ubuntu by just clicking all of these icons. So yeah, I'll be back once this finishes installing. And there you go, our installation has finished. So now you can click on continue testing, or you can restart the system to directly boot into the Ubuntu that has been installed on your system. So I will click on restart now. Now it will ask you to remove the installation medium and then press enter. So now you will have to remove your USB drive. So I'll do that, and now press the enter key. And there you go. I am in Ubuntu right now, and you can see my user. So I'll enter my very secure password and hit enter. And there you go. We have Ubuntu installed. Now it will ask you to connect all of your accounts. You can sign in with your Google account, and then you can access your mail from here itself. But I do not want to do that, so I'll just skip that. And then it also allows you to set up canonical live patch, which I will not do. And then it'll ask you to send some system information. I don't want to do that because it can also breach your privacy, but I don't think it does because this is open source. Now again, local location services, I'm going to turn that off. And yeah, now if I click on next, you can see that we are ready to go. You can use software to open install apps like these. So you can install VS Code, you can install Skype, you can install Spotify, Slack, PyCharm, IntelliJ, Android Studio, Krita, Plex, VLC, OBS, GIMP, Gatecracken, Discord, Bomb Squad, and so much more. So there's also all of your Windows apps. Most of your Windows apps are also here on Linux. So you also have a Chromium. If you do not like Firefox, then you can install Chromium. There's also Audacity, Sublime, Inkscape, Opera. There's another browser, Opera. If you do not like Chromium or Firefox, then there's Telegram. Then there's so much more. There's also Simple Note, Bitword, and Postman. All of that. So you can now install this update, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to click that. And that's the great thing. In Windows, you have to install updates, but in Linux, you can just decline them for as long as you want. It is not recommended because, of course, the updates might contain security fixes, but you can do that if you want to. Now, I will show you all how you can install an application. So, open this Ubuntu software application here from your panel. This is actually called a panel, not a taskbar. And there you go. We have Ubuntu software all locked and loaded. So from here you can install all of the popular applications. You can also sort by category. But now what I want to do is I want to install an application called Chromium, which is basically like Google Chrome minus all of the data collection and everything that Google does. So this is basically an open source version of Chromium. There is almost zero difference between Chrome and Chromium, but Chromium is much more secure than Chrome because of course it does not send any data to Google. So you can see it looks basically like Chromium, basically like Chrome, and it is Chrome. This is developed by Google, but Chrome is actually not open source. So I highly recommend installing Chromium instead of Chrome. And you can click on this install button, and sometimes it might do this because this is a glitch, but it is actually installing it in the background. So after some time Chromium will get installed. So you can see that we just got a 2% there and then 3%. So it is actually installing it. So if you keep clicking on this install button, then it will load. I don't know why Ubuntu software is glitchy, but uh, I will be back once Chromium installs. And there you go, Chromium has installed. So if I go to the start menu or the applications menu as it is on Ubuntu, you can see that Chromium has indeed installed, but I personally prefer Firefox. Now, if this Ubuntu software is too buggy for you, you can install it using the terminal. And that is the best part about Linux, the Linux terminal. You can do almost everything that you can with a graphical interface that you can on a terminal. So I will open the terminal. There's a shortcut for it actually. You can do Command Alt T, or sorry, Control Alt T, or Super T. Super is your Windows key. So Super T or Control Alt T will open the terminal, and you can now start typing commands. So uh, a command that I really recommend you type almost every few days is sudo apt update -y and sudo apt upgrade -y. What this will do is it will fetch all of the applications and packages that you have installed and update it to its latest version. So this update, what it does is it updates all of your repositories, and upgrades all of your application. So I will be back once this is done. All right, now it has successfully upgraded everything, and now we can install some packages. There's a difference between packages and applications. Packages are command line utilities, and applications are actual GUI based utilities. Sometimes packages can be applications and applications can be packages. So the way you install packages is by using the apt command. So you have to do sudo, which means execute this command as an administrator. Sudo space apt space install space, and then whatever package you want. For example, if you wanted to install Python, then you can do it like that. You don't have to go through the hassle of just searching the internet for the correct installer and all of that. You can also install Node.js if you wanted to. You can install npm, you can install pip like this, so python 3 dash pip, that's how you install pip. And now for applications, the same applications that are in the software store can be installed over here as well, and that you can install by using the snap command. So you say sudo snap install application name. So let's say I wanted to install maybe a VS Code, so I can just do sudo snap install code. Now if I hit enter, uh, some applications use something called a classic. So you have to specify this parameter by just saying dash dash classic, and now it will install VS Code. So once this is installed, I'll be right back. All right, code has installed, so VS Code has installed, and if we look in our applications, uh, let's go down. You can see VS Code has installed. So this is how you install applications in Ubuntu. And thank you all for watching. Welcome to the Linux community where everything is open source, safe and privacy respectful. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye.